Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon on the national news this hour from Babagide Imo Television. First, the headlines. Supreme Court to hear Atiku'S appeal to present fresh evidence against Tinubu on Monday. World Bank does not understand Nigeria's problem. Our destiny is not in their hands. Akpabio. EFCC new chair vows to make rule of law agencies guiding lights. Our police arrested RCCG pastor for allegedly supplying guns to robbers. 40-feet container crushes woman in Anambra. Over 15 protesters languishing in Lagos prison 3 years after #enters. And sport. Reds join Chelsea, Arsenal in Osim race. I am Morire Lawal. The news in detail. The Supreme Court has fixed Monday, October 23rd, for hearing in the appeal by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku'S, seeking the nullification of President Bola Tinubu's victory at the presidential election. The Apex Court will same day hear the motion by Atiku, seeking to bring fresh evidence to prove that President Bola Tinubu submitted forged certificates to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). In a hearing notice cited on Thursday, the Apex Court fixed 9 a.m. of the date for Atiku'S lawyer and those of President Tinubu to address its panel of 7 justices on whether it has powers to grant the request. Also billed to address the court on the contentious request are lawyers from the All Progressive Congress (APC) and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), who are joint respondents in the motion. They are to argue and cite relevant laws on whether such request is grantable under the country's Constitution and Electoral Act of 2022. The document Atiku sought to tender are the academic records of Tinubu, which were handed over to him by the Chicago State University on Monday, October 2nd. The 32-page document were released to him on orders of Judge Nancy Maldonado of the District Court of Illinois, Eastern Division, Illinois, United States of America. Moving on to the next story. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, has said that Nigeria's destiny is not in the hands of the World Bank. Akpabio asserted that the organization does not understand the country's challenges. The Senate President stated this in Akwa Ibom on Thursday at a retreat on fiscal policy and tax reforms organized by Senate's 4 lawmakers. He noted that while the World Bank might be of help in terms of loans, it has no idea where the real problem of the economy is coming from. It is our work, not their own. So while they talk, let us walk the walk. We wear the shoes and we know where it pinches. Every major national development was based on a roadmap designed by citizens of the respective countries, Akpabio said. Speaking further, Akpabio stated that the Senate would not welcome people who whine and do not believe that the country would progress. The Senate has no place for people who whine or do not believe in the greatness of our country. The hallowed chambers of the Senate are for those who believe that every setback in our country is a setup for a comeback. Today, more than ever before, we must come together in optimism to toll the roadmap of Mr. President, and where we consider that changes may be appropriate, work with the executive to perfect the document, he added. The newly appointed chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, says the rule of law will dictate the pace of the organization. He made this comment when he assumed office as the EFCC chief in Abuja on Thursday. A statement by the agency's spokesperson, Dele Oyewale, quoted Olukoyede as saying, "We are going to drive professionalism in discharging our duties in line with the rule of law. The rule of law is going to be our guiding line. We are going to drive EFCC to a place where, when you see EFCC personnel, you will see a touch of professionalism. We are also going to be involved more in prevention because it is better to save money for the government than to spend money on prosecution." Olukoyede resumes news calls for EFCC newly appointed executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, as he assumed office. The agenda revolves around clearer and robust pursuit of the mandate of the EFCC, creating an atmosphere for transparency and accountability in governance, emphasizing preventive strategies in fighting corruption, total adherence to the rule of law, and better welfare packages for the staff of the Commission. Moving on to the next story, a 45-year-old senior pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God RCCG, Ola Olayode, has been arrested for allegedly supplying arms and ammunition to one Owodukoko John, 36, a unit commandant of the Vigilante Group of Nigeria, for alleged robbery. The Ogun State Police Command confirmed that John was the mastermind of several nefarious crimes that took place at Obalende and other areas of the state. It was learned that John was arrested along Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, Benin Highway during an operation led by an Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP Omosonyi Adeniyi, the area commander Ijebu-Ode. Upon his arrest, John was found in possession of a gun, and in his confessional statement, he allegedly fingered an inspector of police, simply identified as Ola, as the supplier of the gun in his possession. It was learned that it was in a bid to absolve himself of any violations that Pastor Olayode, who also happens to be an inspector in the spy police, fingered a police officer as the person who sold the gun to him that he has been using. After the pastor was arrested, the pastor told correspondent that he indeed sold his pump-action rifle to the suspected armed robber with necessary caution, but begged for mercy. If I had known, I would not have done it that way. How he bought the gun from police. The embattled pastor explained that he attended early primary school, Ekiti State, and dropped out in junior secondary school 3 at AUD Secondary School, Ikole Ekiti, Ekiti State. Given background of his endeavors in life, the suspect told the police that after school he came to his mother's place in Akure and learned driving for a year. It was in mother's place that he learned how to drive a Okwesi garage. In 2005, he worked with former Akure South local government. On 25th November 1997, he started working as a driver at Redeemed Church before becoming a pastor, as the investigation and confessional statement reads. A 40-feet container which fell from a rolling trailer at the busy Eze Iweka area near Upper Iweka bus stop along the Onitsha-Owerri Road has crushed an unidentified person to death. Information gathered that a tragic incident happened on Thursday evening when a truck parked by the roadside while goods were being offloaded suddenly started moving. The driver was not in the vehicle at the time. It was gathered that while the truck was moving, the 40-feet container it was carrying fell and crushed on the victim by the roadside. It was learned that more casualties were averted as traders who noticed the moving truck quickly fled the scene. As of Friday morning, the dead victim was still trapped under the container as rescue efforts were still ongoing to lift the container and remove her. The acting sector public education officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Margaret Onabe, who confirmed the incident, said it happened at about 3 p.m. Onabe attributed the cause of the crash to brake failure, adding that the police were making effort to get a crane to lift the 40-feet container. To the next story, as regards the marking of the third year of #EndSARS that rocked the nation. Amnesty International has said that a total of 15 protesters arrested in 2020 are still being arbitrarily detained 3 years after the #EndSARS protest that took Nigeria by storm. According to a statement by the International Non-Governmental Organization on the third anniversary of the protest, the majority of the protesters are in Kirikiri Medium Correctional Center and Ikoyi Medium Security Correctional Center in Lagos without trial. It noted that the Nigerian authorities have filed trumped-up charges including theft, arson, possession of unlawful firearms, and murder against many of the protesters, adding that some of those detained alleged that they had been subjected to torture. Investigation shows the Nigerian authorities utter disdain for human rights. 3 years in detention without trial is the travesty of justice. This shows the authorities' contempt for due process of law. The protesters must be immediately and unconditionally released, said Issa Sanusi, director of Amnesty International Nigeria. 7. #EndSARS protesters Daniel Joy Igbo, Sadiq Adigun, Sunday Okoro, Olumide Fatai, Oluwole Isa, Shehu Anes, and Akiniro Oyetakin, arrested in Lagos in 2020, are being arbitrarily held in Kirikiri Medium Correctional Center, Amnesty International said. Daniel Joy Igbo, a Beninese, not a Nigerian, was also arrested in Lagos in October 2020, who has also been detained at the Bar Beach Police Station, the State Criminal Investigation Department in Panti, and at a SARS facility in Ikeja, told Amnesty International, so as other states in the country. On sports, Premier League giant Liverpool have joined the transfer race for Nigerian striker Victor Osim as a sent scout to watch the Napoli man during the international period. Osim was linked with a move away from Naples in the summer after he enjoyed an impressive season during the 2022-2023 campaign with the Italian side. The Nigerian international netted 26 goals in 32 league appearances for Napoli towards winning their first Serie A title in 33 years. Although he has remained with Italian champions, Osimhen's future is still surrounded by uncertainty following a social media storm where he was mocked by the club's TikTok account. The likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain have been linked with Osimhen, and it now appears that Liverpool are also interested in securing his signature. According to British publication The Sun, Liverpool Bulls judging club sent one of the club's scouts to watch Osimhen in action for Nigeria. A Liverpool scout saw Osimhen playing 59 minutes in Friday's 2-2 draw against Saudi Arabia before he was forced off with a hamstring injury. Liverpool are simply drawing up a list of potential forward targets as they prepare for Mohamed Salah's possible departure in 2024. The Egypt international was the subject of a €150 million bid from Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad during the summer transfer window. While Liverpool managed to keep hold of one of their most prized assets, they reason believe that there will be further interest from the Saudi Pro League next year. Should they decide to pursue a move for Osimhen, it could be a bid in excess of €100 million to price them away from Napoli. With the sports story, we've come to the end of today's national news. Before we go, some headlines. Supreme Court to hear Atiku'S appeal to present fresh evidence against Tinubu on Monday. World Bank does not understand Nigeria's problem. Our destiny is not in their hands. Senate President Godswill Akpabio. EFCC new chair vows to make rule of law agencies guiding light. Olukoyede. Our police arrested RCCG pastor for allegedly supplying guns to robber. On sport, Reds join Chelsea, Arsenal in Osim race. For updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on the screen. Thank you for watching. Jumat Mufida. I am Morire Rabi Lalawa. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.